Hi everyone, once again welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to set up the CI/CD of the AWS CodePipeline DevSecOps Zomato Clone project. We know about the Jenkins, we have to maintain the servers and we have to install the plugins and credentials, we have to maintain it. All those stuff we have to maintain in the Jenkins servers. By using the AWS serverless services, we are going to do the same, but we have to write up in the YAML file instead of Jenkins file. So here in this project, you are seeing we are going to learn a lot more in this project. I'm going to explain each services, why we are using and why it requires these services in this stage. So here in the initial stage we have to create the private VPC network. So two public subnets and the two private subnets we have to provision in this project, because the two public subnets we are going to use as a ALB for the internet facing to accessing our applications, and the two private subnets we are using for the executing our code pipeline as well as the ECS Docker image hosting in the private subnets. And here, as same as the Jenkins file, when the developer is push the code to the GitHub, it's going to trigger by using the webhook. Then when we are going to creating one of the code build up here, in this stage the code build is going to check our latest code and perform the stages like SCA, software composite analysis. Is going to check initially before going to SCA, is going to installing the dependencies by using the npm install. I'm going to show that what are the stages and steps we are going to perform in the script. And once the dependencies was checked by using the OWASP, then is moved to the next as a SAT, static application security testing. Here is going to check all these security things and generate the report and push to the SonarQube cloud. We are not using here the now in the local EC2 instance, not installing any SonarQube. We are using the SonarQube.io by public website, which is available in the SonarQube website. And once everything set was done, then is going to scanning up our file system, is going to generate the report as well as sending the report to the S3 bucket. Once the file system was scanned, then is going to building up the Docker image. When the Docker image was built, again is going to scan up the Docker image by using the same tool Trivi. Then once the scan was done, is going to pushing the Docker image to the ECR. So here we are using the dynamic tags. Each build is going to storing up in the ECR. We are not going to manually editing up all the tags on the all the time. And here I am using the Amazon EFS. Why I am using the Amazon EFS? So when you observe in the previous of the Jenkins file, when you performing the OWASP ZAP, OWASP SEA stage, then is going to downloading the some records, right? So is going to take around 30 to 40 minutes of time duration. So on the time of the Jenkins is going to cache the records of the SCA, right? And here when you build up on the things here, the cache always going to deleting up and again is going to getting the new cache of OWASP. So for minimize the duration of the downloading, So I am going to storing that cache into the Amazon EFS, and again I'm also going to storing up the Trivy software also. So not required to again and again we are going to download up. So is going to storing up on the one time, again is going to use it regularly. And the dashed cache also, initially the dash have the 800 MB of storage is going to utilize. So each time when we download trigger the pipeline, again is going to download same as the OWASP. So that's why we are using the same EFS storage and storing the dashed cache. I mean not storing the report, just cache, like what we installing these software packages, same as like that we are using EFS for both SCA and the DAST, right? And the dash scan report also going to store up in the S3 bucket. And here for the SonarQube report, we are using the AWS secret manager to store up the credentials. And once the code was built and it is ready to deploy to the ECS, then we are it going to triggering up on the code pipeline, then is going to move to the staging of ECS, is going to deploying automatically by using the image definition, right? And again once the staging was done, is going to scanning up the application by using the DAST OWASP ZAP. So once the DAST is report was generated, here you can see up is going to storing up the record, report in the S3 bucket. And here for the production ECS deployment, here I given the one of the stage is manual. You just observe the arrow mark here. The manual approval is going to getting a notification SNS to your email ID, then you can approve it. Once you approve the stage, when you feel this code is fine means, then is going to deploying it to the ECS production. So here we are using the ACM along with the Route53 and the application load balancer target group we are going to using up here, and the security groups, required security group not going to enabling all the stuff, right? And here the cloud logs, all the related logs will be stored on the cloud logs. And the CloudWatch events we are going to setting up, right? We covered almost all everything, and here you can see up here the how it look like, the image, source is going to fetching up the latest code and is going to building up same as it is build, then is going to deploy and the staging ECS up here, and the DAST is going to scanning up our website, and manual approval, once it manual approval was done, is going to deploying on the production deployment. So this is the GitHub link. I will give it in the description box below. You can do the project by your own. So, and few things we have to change up in our YAML file. I'm going to show all those stuffs. What are the things we have to change up, replace, right? Let's first, I'm also documented in what are the things we have to perform on each stages. So I'm going to showing up and keep it ready one of the notepad to store the things. And one more, I'm going to show, this is my personal website, arishanshetty.github.io. if you like to do more the projects, in the left side you will see the play cardboard projects. So here you will see number of projects already available here. You can explore it later by seeing of this project, and you can also filter it out what project you like to do. Yeah, let's begin the project. Just clone it up in your local machine, git clone. And here for the Sonar project properties, this is most essential, because by this file is going to scanning up all the things and sending the report to the cloud, Sonar cloud, right? And it gives a name as a Zomato DevSecOps front end. And this is the build spec hub here. This is the for the initial stage of the build for SAT and retrieve scan and building the image, also Docker image. And here you have to replace up here from this portion all the time, and the dashed also you have to change the variable things what I gave on here, you have to replace it, right? For the some reasons I am not using the this service, what commit, I'm not using the code commit. If you like to do it in the code commit, you can do it. Right now I am not using up this one. In the previous time he is not available for the code commit. I don't believe in the future it will available or not, so that's why I'm using the GitHub here. So if you like to do in the code commit, you can do it, your wish. Right, so first let's me create the VPC. So I'm doing in the AP South one. If you like to do it in another region, you can do it. So create project, recording. Yeah, I'm selecting the VPC and more, and here Zomato demo project. This is fine. And make sure you select the 2 availability zones and 2 public subnets, and the private subnets is required. And zonal, I'm selecting the in the attaching the NAT gateway in one of the AZ, and this is essential, right? Create VPC. First stage was done. Now we have to set up the SonarQube. Not going to set up, but we have to take up the one of the API token. Right, let me finish this one. Yeah, it is done, right? SonarQube IO, Sonar Cloud. So the link I gave in the description box below. I in the GitHub Repo also I gave one, SonarQube.io, same. Where it is? Yeah. Here I'm going with the GitHub. So try to connect in the GitHub. If you don't have a account, just create it up and connect up here. I will come back once the sign up was done. Sign in. So like this you will get a dashboard. So right now I don't have any projects here. Recording. Okay. Now here in the top corner you will see up here, click on the my account. Recording, right. And here you will select you have to select security. I'm going to give the name, token name. You can give any name also. Zomato demo project code pipeline. Generate and copy this token and paste it in one of the notepad. Sonar token, right? The first step is done, and move back up here. You don't want to save it on the security API in the YAML file, so we are saving in the secret manager. So it's going to fetching up, we giving the permissions to the pipeline, is going to fetching the report, I mean getting the details of the secrets. Then we have to create the S3 bucket up here. S3 bucket to store the artifacts. So we have to store up all these reports, right? To store that report, we are using S3 bucket. So first S3 bucket, create bucket, Zomato demo project report. Create bucket. Copy your bucket name, S3 bucket name, and EFS we have to create it up. EFS. See, first initial stage we have to create it up. On the time of build, if you go into creating, is going to fail. That's why. Get file. Here, give any name. Zomato EFS cache. And select the VPC what we created for this project, Zomato demo project VPC. Create file system. Yep. Let them create and copy the file from here to here. EFS address, and make sure you copied the proper from the slash, right? And so we have to create one of the connections for the GitHub. Create a CodeBuild. Code commit, you can go with the code commit also, not an issue. Here in the left side you will see the CodeBuild. Click on the build projects. Create project. Project name I am giving Zomato CI, right? And additional thing in the source I'm selecting the GitHub. Manage account credentials, let me check. So right now I already have it. Result, click on the create new account connections up here. If you don't not saying, you will get a one of the like this, you will get a information. So connection name is GitHub connect to GitHub. So hub here is going to authorizing, is getting a permission. So where I'm going to show where it is going to do it up, where it is. So I'm not signed in. Yeah, in the profile, go to the settings. On the left side you will see the applications. So here it's going to appearing up here when you authorize. Yeah, and click on the install a new app. So here you will get two options. So you are going to authorizing all the repositories or few selected one. So I am selecting only select the repositories, few selected. Going with the AWS. Just type the code pipeline. So you will it going to listing up here the AWS DevSecOps code pipeline. So in your case, what you gave on the GitHub repo name, same you give it. So here you can see the with those permission is going to be authorizing read access to the action deployments and environment issues and the metadata, read and write access to the administration code, commit status and pull request and repository hooks. Click on the install and authorize. Done. So is going to generate one of the ID here. You can see up and click on the connect. Yeah, it's closed up the pop on. Just refresh here. So you can see the AWS connector for the GitHub is configured. In the application section, you will see it up this one, this message, right? Yeah, this is done. Manage credentials. Yeah, select this one. So if you're not seeing anything, means in the credentials, click on the manage credentials and select what you created in the previous, in a few seconds. Connect. So you will get an indication like your account is successfully configured, connected. So then repository is listed. If you give on the all repositories, is going to listing up here. So I'm selecting the my only required repository. So in the source code version is done. Uncheck this one, webhook optional, and here I'm going with the on demand. We are going to building up this project, I mean going the stage in the Docker image, Docker container. So operating system, I'm selecting the Ubuntu and runtime as a standard, and image I'm going with the default one, latest, and the image version is always use the latest image for this runtime version. And if you have existing one, you can select up this option, otherwise go with the default and click on the additional configuration up here, and you seen up this privileged, just enable this option, then only you can build up the Docker image. If you did not enable this option, is going to not going to build the Docker image. So is throwing an error, permission error, that's why just uncheck it, check it, this one. And the VPC is our created one, and the subnet is private. Make sure you selected the proper one, private, and the private security group default validate. So you should get this indication, green indication, then you have to proceed, otherwise you have to cross check it where you done it wrong. And in the file system, this is related to the EFS, so I'm going to give the Zomato cache identifier is going to listing up if you already created the EFS, and the directory path is slash and the mount path point is slash EFS. I'm selecting the use a build specs file, build spec.yaml. This name is related to the what have in the GitHub repo, this file name. This one we are going to give after the deployment of the pipeline, ECS pipeline. So same what name you have in the file name, same name you have to give it up here by selecting a use a build spec file, and the artifact is S3 and bucket name is listed up here, and select the proper one and use the enable semantic versioning, and the namespace type is build id. Then everything is fine, right? So this option is going to storing up the logs, what you pipeline getting the logs, output logs is going to storing up in the CloudWatch. Click on the create build project. Yeah, now you should get this green indication project created, right? Now let's try to edit up something up here. Let me check is whether is auto triggered or what. Just cross check it. Git add, git commit, test, git push. So it's maybe is not triggering up because we did not enable the webhook here. So you can check it up. If you checked up this option, is going to trigger on the every time when you push the code. Yeah, it's not triggering. This is safe side. Then now move back to up here. We have to store the credentials related to the SonarQube. Where it is. Connection was done, role was done. VPC validation spec. Yeah, everything is done. And now we have to edit up something in the build spec file. So here you can see before you build the start, you have to cross check it all the related details. Then so how to get this file? Let me first create the secret manager first thing. Go to the secret manager. Secrets, store a new secret. Let me check it if anything else up here. Nothing. Store a new secret. Other type of secrets. Key value is sonar token. Token is this one I gave on here in the bottom. Just copy this one. System host is organization is my name. You edit up your name, not an issue. Project is, you can give any name also in the project, not an issue. Right, done. Click on the next once you filled up all the details. Next, and the secret name is this one, dev/sonar. If you like to change up your own means, you just replace up here also, same thing. The tag Zomato credentials. Next, store. Yeah, retrieve secrets is perfectly done as per the image. Right, now let's move on to the next. Yeah, we have to, this part is portion is done for the secret manager. Then we have to update this of URLs if you want the latest one. This is related to the latest as per the date. In the future, the version and the release was changed, that's why we have to replace up here. So for the Sonar Scanner URL, we are using the Sonar Scan CLI. So for that, I given the link up here. You can also go up by clicking up here. Otherwise, you have to Google it. You will get a result. Same as it is, same result. And here just expand this Sonar Scanner, this version. So up here you can see the number of scanner is available right here. So here you have to right click it and copy link address, same it, see binaries.sonarsource.com, same 8, what the version 8.0.1, and the current version is same as it is. I updated. If you like to do it, you can, if you in the future, just replace the option. And the trivia also same thing, and the link I given up here. This is basically a trivia GitHub Repo link. Up here you will get the release. Just click on the releases. In the releases, when you are not seeing up anything, means just expand the assets, and up here where it is show all assets, yeah, this one, just right click it and copy link address and replace up here. 67 right now is 67.2. let me replace up here. Yeah, 68. You can see up here now is updated to 68. Make sure you selected the Linux 64-byte, and the dependency check URL same. check GitHub, go this website, again go to the release. The current version is version 12.19, same version, and just copy this link and replace up here, right. And the S3 bucket name, the bucket name what we created in the previous, this is not required for the present. So now the artifact going to storing up, I'm going to showing, just copy and paste it. Oh, okay. Now I'm not going to updating this option, later I'm going to updating up. So one more we have to update up here, EFS mount point system target, where it is, yeah, EFS, yeah, I saved it, and let me check if there is anything stored or not. Nothing is stored, right. 6 KB. Now everything is updated, and here also DAST, let me update up here also. Yeah, later we will see up this ZAP URL. Git add git commit links updated git push. Currently I am not updated this S3 bucket, later we will update it, right. Let's move back to secret manager, not the build spec. So some permissions we have to give up here. So yeah, we have to give the permission secret manager read on write, and the EFS, I mean to mount up our EFS, that's why we have to give this permission, and the container registry full access to push the Docker image to the ECS, that's why we have to give the permission. Let me check the ECR, right, registries, repositories, yeah, there is no any Docker image right here right now. So let's go to the roles, spec, and just copy the name and paste up here. Why is not getting up here? Oh, sorry, given a space. Yeah, just check the last activity, then you can easily identify it. Zomato CI service role. Then up here, add permission, attach policies. Secret manager read and write, and the Amazon EC2 container registry full access. Let me check. Yeah, full access. EFS CSI driver. EFS. Yeah. Attach policies and cross check it. You given a proper permission. Yeah. Right. Let me start the build. So click on the tails logs. So if anything happens related to your CI/CD, is going to showing up all the details same as it is in the Jenkins logs. Let me check up here what we have. So here is going to mounting up the EFS target. Same, and is going to segregate in the different directories of EFS dependency check data. Now is going to storing up the records and the Sonar user home. So is going to caching the latest CLI, and the trivy cache also is going to storing up this file. So not regularly is going to downloading up. If in case is already exist in the local directory, is going to stopping up. So dependency check report locally, so is going to storing up in the local directory dependency check report. This is related to the EFS, and the phase is going to installing the Node.js 20. Once the phase runtime Node.js 20 is installed, is going to do the pre-build and is going to install some required NFS command. So we have to mount up the EFS, right? So that's why we are going to installing an NFS command. And if in case you are using the Ubuntu, if you are using the Amazon Linux, then is going to perform this command and is going to check up the Docker version and creating one of the directory dependency check report as well as the trivy report. So is going to check on the initial stage whether it is a file directory is present, otherwise if not present is going to creating it up. So we are variables, we are using EFS mount directory as well as the dependency check, Sonar and the trivy directories. So it's going to mounting up and storing all the caches in these stages in the pre-build commands. So Sonar scanner will perform up here. Once the Sonar scanner was done, is going to perform the dependency check by using this command. This command is stored on the EFS volume, and the build stage once was the SEA and the SAT stage was done, is going to installing the dependencies. So when the record was saved, is going to scan up our dependencies and generate the report and storing one of the location. So this is the command of related to the API and the host name and the project related details, and this is the report is going to storing up and generating the report output. And where we are going to sending the report means we are sending the report to the Sonar Cloud AI IO, which result.json we are just pushing up. So here in this section is related to the Docker image build and the tagging version. So Docker login username is getting the details. This this username, this account ID is going to fetch and tagging up. If you don't worry about the ECR repository creation, is going to handling if we in case is not available, is going to creating up. Once you're done, Docker build image repo name and Docker tag is going to tagging up with the latest, and the post build is unmounting up. Once the build was done and tagging of everything was, is going to unmounting the EFS volume, and is going to perform the trivy up here. See, is going to download the file. First thing, is checking whether it is the latest version or what you given in the URL link, same, and is going to generate the file system report in the format of JSON and SARIF format, and it performs the file image scanning same as using the trivy. Again is going to generate in the report. Once the image was done, scanning was done, is going to storing up the image definition.jsons. This is most important because when you're using the AWS pipeline, the information, related information, is going to stored in the image definition. I'm going to showing up where it is stored and what are the details is storing up in the image definition. So once the scanning was done, is going to pushing the image to the Docker, Amazon ECR. So here AWS S3 copy command, this command is not useful in the code build stage. When you using the AWS code pipeline, then this command is essential. So let me see on the time of the AWS code pipeline. So these are the artifact is going to store in automated way what we configured in the artifact stage in the code build. This will not perform in the present. At present, in this stage, it will not perform, right? So that's it. Let them continue. This action is going up to 40 minutes. So right now, 10 minutes is done. So it takes around 30 minutes to download all the records and storing up in the EFS here. Is going to storing up. So let me check whether is a cache is storing or what. Let me check after the pipeline was code build was done. Now is present. Is going to take some time. 40 to 50 minutes going to take. Let them continue. You guys also take a small break. Now okay, let them continue. Let we update the things in the DAST. Yeah, here in the DAST, go to the ZAP proxy download. So up here you will see the number of downloads here. Linux package, this is the version. Just copy the link and see, right now his version is 2.17 and is 2.16. so if you like to go with the previous version of this ZAP package, then I have one command in the GitHub repo. Yeah, this is the link. Please go with the GitHub, this one. GitHub ZAP proxy, GitHub ZAP proxy. Yeah, here you will see on the releases. Sets here, tags. I copied from here on the previous, now is not showing up here. No, it's showing differently. Anyhow, from here only I copied it on the previous, now is just changed. Yeah. Desktop release. Yeah. I copied over there. Anyhow, I am going with the default one. ZAP proxy download. Right, and just quickly copy link and replace up here. 17 version, earlier 16, 17. Okay. Now scanning URL this is a most important one. So let me first we have to configure the ACM. So you should have a knowledge in the ACM and the Route 53 and ALB in this project, otherwise it's quite difficult to do it. So for that, if you like to purchase the domain in these projects, in the bottom you will find out the two video, you can watch out anyone. So I'm recommend go with the Mumbai version of here, just go with the watching up how to create the ACM and the how we are going to configuring the name servers in the GoDaddy. So you will get some idea. This is done, and ACM. Go with this certificate manager. Up here I have already two certificates. For the demo purpose, I'm going to creating the new one, and request public certificate next, and fully qualified domain name is my domain what we have configured in the Route 53. Domain DNS management. Yeah, here it is. So I can't show up here Route 53 and the ACM and the name server added in the GoDaddy. So you have to explore it your own and give the star, because we are using the wildcard entry as a staging production. That's why I give your name, and in the starting you have to give the star wildcard entry, and validation DNS validation, and the tag is name Zomato server request. Tags, yeah, this is one. I will want to forget after some time. ACM, right, and here right now is not required to configure any record. Let me finish this build first. So 46% was done. Place Right, after some time the pipeline is just finished and the status is failed. As I said in the earlier, we did not configure the S3 bucket up here, the proper one. So the problem is that where it is, just click on the build run up here and the phase details. You will see all the details and the phases is successfully done and it is passed. In the post build, the command what is given, we are saying copy the artifact and store it one of the S3 bucket what we defined in the pipeline. So we did not replace our S3 bucket, so that's why we are getting the error message, but our pipeline is successfully completed and the artifact is also uploaded successfully by using the earlier stage of what we given in the permission S3 artifact to storing in the bucket. Let me refresh up here. This is the bucket, right? And you can see the based on the build run ID D5B. Where it not here? Yeah, 7D5D, and based on the build ID is going to storing up our artifact. This is the Zomato CI of the pipeline, and you can see the directory as well as the file what we defined in the artifact in the below last up here. See, so in the tree report you can see out the file system report as well as image report also. And image definition, as I said in the earlier, I'm going to showing up here what the things is stored up. Yeah, here you can see as same as what we understand in the Docker tagging, same. This is the image name, I mean profile ID, and this is the image name Zomato, and this is the tag version. So on every time when you build the image is going to tagging up based on the build run ID. So now we seen about this, just move on to the ECR, whether it is stored our repos. Yeah, it is stored. You can see up here the Zomato, we did not created any recording. Yeah, we did not created any ECR private repositories, right? Is going to creating automatically and pushing the Docker image. You can see the Docker tag is 1. So on the first build we successfully configured it, and the next when we creating the build is going to create the new tag. So you can also see the when is created and when is pushed. Right, let's move on to the next. Now we have to cross check it once again of the DAST. Before going to the DAST, let me see in the EFS, not this one, yeah, this one, EFS. Let me see whether the cache is stored or not. So this is the latest cache in the first build, or the artifact I mean cache is stored Trivy and the SonarQube and the OWASP. So to connect this one, we have to create one of the EC2 instance. You can give any name, NFS check server. Keep pair, I'm using existing one, and make sure you given the proper, don't select the default one, and select the public, enable auto assign, and load SSH and NFS, right? NFS to the anywhere. That's it. Click on the launch instance. Yeah, just connect with your key pair. Sudo apt install update. Sorry, I selected the EC2 instance Amazon. My bad. Install what the command EFS utility. Yeah, now go to the EFS, attach and copy this use NFS client and save it one of the here and paste up here. So directory is not created, make a directory EFS, right. Yeah, we created directory, but is still not mounting up. So for this case we have to enable it the security group and click on the manage. In the EFS click on the network and the here manage and just select it here up, allowed SSH and NFS and what we attach to the EC2 instance. Click on this save and let me refresh it. Yeah, is now mounted successfully. CD EFS ls, right. So you can see up here dependency check record is stored, cd check ls, so db is stored, cache is also stored, and let's move on to the cd trv ls not and the sonar cache cd. Yeah, some cache is stored up here. Yeah, we seen about right now here. So one more cache we have to store up, that is DAST OWASP ZAP. So let me create the pipeline CodeBuild. It is here. So I did not show your cloud logs where it stored, right? Build logs, tail build logs. You can also click it up by using here, and also you can see it up in the CloudWatch. Here click on the logs and expand this logs. Where it is, log group, it should come up here. Tail logs. Yeah, here click on the log management. So if you have multiple logs, if you can see up here log groups. right? So we have one log, so that's why showing up the log management. Otherwise you can when you select the build history here, build run, you can select the view entire log. There also you can get the logs also. So right now how much time is taken? So approximately it's taken 45 minutes. Yeah, you can see here 47 minutes is approximately is took on the first time. And logs, so you can see the logs, what are the things is happened on a particular build time. So it's creating the image definition and the TV logs. Yeah, let's move on to build DAST, create build project, DAST Zomato, and the source is GitHub, and select the GitHub, already we connected it, right? And repository is here, and uncheck this one. If you like to trigger it automatically, means you have to check up. I'm going with the uncheck, on demand and Ubuntu same, and here privilege just enable this option, and VPC Zomato, subnet is private, select to private, and the security group the default, and click on the validate. Yeah, done. And the file system is Zomato, identification is Zomato, and identify EFS f/EFS, that's it. And Buildspec is Buildspec name is dast.ml. so the file is up here, dast.ml, and yeah, clear artifact storing up in S3. Here is build id. Yeah, is also doing the CloudWatch logs. Create build. Credentials. What I did wrong up here? Yeah, actually I created this name already in the previous, that's why it's not creating it. Yeah, we created it to build projects, yeah, 2. And right now, so we have to update it up, and the ECS we did not configure yet. So let me create the ECS first and just update this option first thing, SF, and attach, copy it, update it up, and make sure you update your domain, right? And again is going to failing up because we did not updating the S3 bucket. And up here you know about the dashed, how zap download now, and Linux package, just copy this one and replace up here, and make sure you just edited this one if you using the latest one. That's it. Then is going to handling up everything. Git add, git commit, dashed updated, git push, right. Yeah, let's move to the ECS. See, we covered almost everything, so we have to create the staging ECS. So up here, staging ECS, we have to create 2 production as well as the staging ECS. ECS cluster, click on the cluster here and create cluster, Zomato cluster. Then forget, select the forget, click on the create. Yeah, click on the Zomato cluster and make sure when you get a green indication, then only you have to create the services. Click on the in the services, click on the create service, task definition, where is not coming, should come up here. Go to the task definition, create task definition, staging task definition, task definition, and select the AWS forget up here, and operating system is fine, and 0.5 is enough for the staging, and 1 GB of memory. And in the task role, select the ECS task execution role. This is fine, and the Zomato name is Zomato, and image URL, select a browse up here and select the Zomato ECR, and here select image, right, and the port name is 80, and rest everything is okay, and is going to collecting the logs in the CloudWatch. So up here, that's it. Click on the let me tag name staging task definition, create. Yep, now click on the cluster. So again, let me clear the production also. Create new task definition, prod task definition. So 1 CPU is okay, and 2 GB RAM. Same. Zomato. God. Create. Yeah, we created two task definition up here. Click on the cluster, and in the cluster create the service up here and select the staging. Right now click on the staging, and the task definition is latest, is okay, and service name go with the default one, and in the launch type select the forget. Don't select with the capacity provider strategy. For the demo purpose I am going with the forget, and replica I am maintaining 2 in the staging, and select on the networking. In the networking select the Zomato up here, and here just uncheck this public. Later we are going to configure in the ALB. Yeah, subnet is done, and here staging ECS security group HTTP and HTTPS, right, anywhere and anywhere, and uncheck this public IP, and load balancing, use load balancing, and yeah, create a new load balancer. Let me check the load balancer. Yeah, there is no load balancer. And the target groups, staging ALB 80 and staging target group. So I think I left it 80 to networking security group, and this is in the private, right? Yeah, create. So you should come to the green, right? Yeah, service is up. Let's move back to the target group. Targets healthy, and the load balancer. Now you can't able to accessing up, so I'm going to say why if we can't able to accessing up. So we selected the private subnets, we should have to select the public subnets in the ALB, right? So for that cases we can't able to accessing up. It is click on the staging network mapping. Yeah, in the network mapping, availability zones and subnets, click on the edit and select it up here, public both, select both public, save and refresh here. So it takes some time to update up here. Ping. So if you are not getting up here, just go with the HTTP. So we did not configure HTTPS, that's why we are getting a message, error message. So you can't able to access the website. So give the HTTP, then you can access the website. So now is done. Now let's map it up HTTPS. First add listener and click on HTTPS and target group, select the target group, and the ACM certificate is, so earlier we created this C7FC, right? Select the C7FC, done, and listener, and right now in the click on the HTTP 80 in the listener and rules, click on the last default. So before selecting this one, let me see in the Route 53 whether it will work or not. Create record and staging, give the proper name what we defined in the DAST. If you change anything, just update in the YAML file. Okay, record name is staging, and alias, select the alias, and the endpoint is application, classic load balancer, region is Mumbai, and the load balancer is staging. Create record. I have to show you something, that's why I'm created the Route 53 and the early, right? See, when the user is trying to accessing by 80 port, so you can, is not redirecting to the HTTPS, so is showing the not secured. So for that case, so again I will come back once again. So when you select a staging ALB, so select the HTTP 80 up here, select the last default and actions, edit rule, and redirect to the URL. Before going to, I'm going to showing up the map first. Let's see up the map first. Resource map, yeah, this is one. So you can see the map, how these two lines will going to change. Redirect and click on the full URL, save changes, done. Let's refresh up here. So you can see up earlier stage, the earlier it was going up here to the target group. Now when the user will click on to the 80, it's going to redirect it to the HTTPS. Let me refresh up here. See, now without any entering the HTTPS, is directly rerouted up here. You can see up here is validated, the certificate is validated and rerouted to the HTTPS. So again I am going to give to the HTTP. See, again is moved to the HTTPS. Right now we can trigger the build in the DAST, and the where it is the report D5B, right? Start build. So this one is going to approximately 5 minutes going to take. Yeah, tail locks. See, it's executed dash YAML. Yeah. ZAP tarball is not found in the EFS, then is going to downloading up. Let me see. Let's cd EFS. See, is now downloaded. Again is when you trying to executing the pipeline, again is not going to download this file again and again, because it quite 250 MB. If you are using the Docker image, is quietly 2 GB is there. So is going to check this version. If this present, then is going to dropping out. If it not present in the directory, then is going to downloading it. Yeah, this is done. Active scanning is happening, is checking and scanning with this URL, HTTP URL. So again is going to show the fail. I know is going to showing up the fail on the stage of the post build uploading the artifact. Yeah, pipeline is successfully done, but we got an error message while uploading the artifact. Phase, yeah, as expected, is failed, but the artifact is already stored. D5B, and the next is FEC2, and you can see the dash as Zomato check report and HTML format open. So you can see up here the report, the HTML in the format is generated, as well as in the JSON format is generated. So you can check it up if you have a confidence, then give a manual approval to the deploying to the production ECS. Right, we seen about all the stuffs related to the static building. So let's move on to the AWS pipeline to automatic triggering all those stuff. Before doing that, we have to create one of the production service also, where it is the cluster, not here. Yeah, Zomato cluster. Move back to the ECS up here and click on the create. Task definition is prod task definition, right? Don't select the staging one, and task definition is your latest one, and launch template forget, and desired task is 3, so we can easily identify out if you given the more. And the networking is Zomato. Now select the private one, create a new prod ECS security group, HTTPS anyway, uncheck public IP, and the load balancer, use load balancer. Prod LB PR target group, create. Yeah, it takes some time to provide the services. The task you can see up here, there is 2 pods is up and running. So here there is going to listing up of the prod task definition. Yeah, is created service, and the 3 container is up and running. Let's move back to the load balancer, and now select the prod and the network mapping, edit subnets, select the public one, both, save changes, and go to the Route 53 now and create record prod alias application load balancer, okay, region Mumbai, prod ALB, create record. So we have to add one more HTTPS, right? Click on the add listener, HTTP. So still is not create a target group. Prod target group, and the ACM is which one? 7FC, right. See the indication lines is go with the flow 80 to target group, and HTTPS go with the flow to the target group. Then is going to cutting off here this line and rerouting this to the from 80 to 443. So I'm not going to do it right now. Let me check it first. Yeah, now is working, is not rerouting to the HTTPS. Let's edit it up and the HTTP 80 and last default actions, edit, redirect to the URL, full URL, save. Recorded, yeah, it is going to reroute it directly. It's not done. Resource map, yeah, it's done. Yeah, is rerouted to the HTTPS, right. So now let's create the AWS pipeline, code pipeline. Yeah, we created a 2 code build, right? Now deployment are not required to create up here. Click on the pipeline, in the code pipeline click on the pipelines, create pipeline and select the build custom pipeline. Next, pipeline is AWS code pipeline Zomato demo. Go with the default one, in advance, not required to change anything. Next, service is code, not GitHub. The source is GitHub, and connection is we created already. Which one I forgotten already? Getting two. Oh, one thing is pending. 8C5. 8C5. Yeah, this one. Not required. Right. Repository is here, and the branch is going to detect and list it out here. And enable automated return delivery failure. This is okay. So here we are selecting up a webhook is started. When you push the developer the code, new code is going to start up the pipeline automatically. So I'm selecting up. If you don't like to do it, means you just uncheck it. Let me check this one and click on the next, and other build provider, and select the code build. In the build stage, select the other build provider and code build. Project name is Zomato CI. And in the environmental variable, let me create up here, right? System. Yeah, make sure you copy these two things and paste it in the notepad. This is required, that's why. Copy from here, public the pipeline execution ID, and replace in the name, and the value is here, code pipeline execution ID. Single build, and input artifact is source artifacts. You select it, is going to storing the details up here, that's why. Click on the next, and the test case is click on the skip test case, and the deployment is ECS. Cluster is this one, service name is staging, and you don't require to give the image definition up here. Is going to fetch from the source. So that's what I'm going to show up here in the security. What will happen is going to create one of the code pipelines, S3 bucket. They're going to maintain the artifacts up here and the related information. So let me see that one, and up here based on the build ID is going to maintain the artifact reports. Next, yeah, just review it. Once you configure it, click on the create pipeline. So here we have to give some permissions over here. And is automatically triggering up. Just stop the right now. Yeah, stopped. Now we have to set up some more stages up here. Right, click on the edit, and this is done. Source is okay, build is okay, deployment. Once the deployment was done, we have to configure the what deployment DAST scan, add stage, and add action group is DAST scan is CodeBuild, provider is CodeBuild, and input artifact source artifact, and the project name is dash Zomato check, and the environmental variable, because here we are storing the artifact in S3 bucket, right? So what will happen, based on the pipeline ID is going to storing up, right? So now we have to update it up, the S3 bucket is this one, just updating the both YAML file, replace here as well as here, save it to both file. Yeah, both file is saved. Define build spec override is insert build command is not use buildspec file is dast YAML, not required to give by here, you can also give it by here. Yeah. Done, and click on the done, and now dash was done. Now we have to give the manual approval. Before giving the manual approval, we have to set up the SNS. Topic, I'm going to deleting up existing one. Okay, topic, click on the standard. In the topic, Zomato manual approval demo. Click on the create topic and click on the create subscription, and you select the proper. If you have a multiple topics means, and protocol is email and my mail ID. Create subscription. Yeah, now you will get the email for confirmation. Confirm subscription. Yeah, it's confirmed. Now this is okay. Oh, we did not see the SonarQube, right? So you will get a detailed report up here in the SonarQube sonar cloud.io, and click on the main branch in the here, and the reliability is 30. So you can see the issues. Yeah, that's it. And this one is okay. Where I left manual. Manual approval, add here manual approval, action provider is listed up here, manual approval, select this one, and essence topic is this one, and required approval summary is true. Done. And once you're done over there, again you click on the done. Don't forget to check that done option. Once it's done, now manual approval done, and production deployment, add prod deployment, add stage, and action is ECS and build artifact. You select build artifact as an input artifacts, and the cluster is listed up here. Service, you select the production task definition and the image. This is okay. Done. Yeah, now we have to save it up here. Save. Yeah, now it is ready. The pipelines, some permissions we have to give up here. I listed out in the GitHub repo. You have to give role in the what are the things. Yeah, these three things you have to give: SNS full access, S3 full access, and this one will see it out there. Go to the roles, left here. Yeah, roles. In the roles, type the code pipeline. So this is the one. Yeah, this is correct. Now attach permission policies here, SNS full access and the S3 full access. This 2 is enough, and some little bit in inline permission we have to edit up here. Code build pipeline. Which one? Code build. Yeah, you select this one. Just expand this. Code pipeline, code build. Up here we have a permission to execute this pipe stage, but the dash stage we did not have permission. That's why just copy it from and click on the edit. This one, code pipeline, code build, right? You select this policy. Up here, just copy just copy it from here and give the comma iter, and this is nothing but your, where it is, code build project properties, the build project name. Just copy this one and replace up here, right? Correct. Next. Save. Yeah, edited perfectly. Yeah, the permission was set, everything, right? Go to the code pipeline up here. So one thing I have to show up here before executing this one. In the staging, you see up here, this is Delhi, and in the prod it is also Delhi. When the AWS code pipeline was triggered, and it automatically is going to deploying the new ECR repository fetching the Docker image and placing it on the ECS. Let me update hub in the source code where it is components and header checks. Yeah, to the Bangalore I'm setting up. Yeah, it's edited, and make sure you properly set up this S3 bucket name, and as well as in the build spec also same, you have to replace it properly, and rest everything is okay. Don't require to change of the EFS, all those stuffs. And here git add git commit final check done, git push. Now check on here. Yeah, is triggered and is going to showing up the comment message down. Yeah, you can see up here final check done. So this is the commit message, so is going to perform the action, right? So it takes around the 15 minutes, and check it up here, still it is in Delhi. Once we done, it will get to the Bangalore. Right, left here, go to the code build. In the code build you will see the in progress. Click on this CI. So now you will not get any message up here. So like I failed, click on up here, phases skew. Yeah, build was successfully done, and the deployment also is done. And in the deployment stage I got some error permission issue. So what I did it, I given the Amazon ECS full access. So if you get some permission issue means, so just attach this policy in the role, and it is deployed to the staging. Let me refresh up here. You can see up in the Delhi, so it is in this staging. So when you refresh, you can see up here the Bangalore is just updated, and in the production is in the Delhi only. Is still not updated anything up here, right? It's back to now. It dash scan is going on. Now once it done, is moving to the manual approval. Then we got a email notification. So I already did it now, right? Where is this 3 bucket? Yeah, this is the code pipeline. Here it will going to reflect here on the report of the dashed also. Yeah, it's performing. Let them finish. Yeah, the dash scan was done, and you can check it out here. The ZAP report up here, you can see it up. Once you feel right, then you will get a notification up here. Otherwise, you can also approve it by here. The notification you will get it. You can see approval needed, AWS CodePipeline and Zomato. This is the CodePipeline manual approval, and approve by here. It redirects to the URL same in the pipeline, and once you're done, click on the manual approval, approve, checked. Deploying to prod, submit. Let me check up here in the prod. Yeah, it is in the Delhi. Right, and submit. Once it's done, is moving to the next stage, production deployment. Yeah, it moved to the next stage. Now you can check it up. It takes some time for while deploying. Yeah, now is updated in the prod link, web link. You can see up here in Bangalore, and this is done. Yeah, all the stages is successfully done. So it's quite taking some large time on the build section, because in the dependency check it takes around 20 minutes to generate the report. So if you don't like to scanning up your dependencies, you just remove the stage up here, and we have to clean up all the resources, otherwise you're going to charge. So first thing I just listed out in the GitHub repo, same thing you have to clean it up on the same basis. So let's clean up the first of the token. Click on account, my account, and click on the security, revoke token. Yeah, stage is done, and this is okay. And the security, this one will clean it up later. And delete the S3 bucket on the initial stage. First clean up the contents, objects, delete. And delete the code pipeline bucket also, because every time is going to storing up here. We are using the build artifact and the input and output artifact, right? So all those stuffs is going to storing up here. right. Just delete both the bucket. Yeah, buckets are deleted. Now move to the EFS. Delete EFS. So it's totally consumed 1.40 GB. Deleting mount point, done. And the secret manager. Where it is secret manager? Okay, let's delete the topic first. SNS topic. Done. And the subscription. Also, you have to delete it up. Done. And the cluster. Yeah, select the cluster and delete the cluster. Before deleting, let's delete the service. Delete service. Stopped. Yeah, is draining up. Now move back to the cluster and delete cluster. Delete. Click on the task definition. Delete the both. Deregister. Right, task definition. Why this one is active? Yeah, right. Yeah, task definition is cleared. And move to the repositories. ECR repositories and delete this Zomato repository. Right. And go to the load balancer and select the both load balancer action, delete, confirm. Yeah, both load balancer is deleted, and go to the target group and select both target group action, delete. Yeah, both was done. And go to the instance. So we created the one of the instance to cross check it whether EFS is stored or not. So terminate the EFS EC2 instance, and that's it. Target group cleared, load balancer cleared, and the log management. If you like to you have to cross check it, means you can also keep it this one, otherwise just the logs. This is done, and this done. And the role you can keep it, we will see it after deleting the pipeline. And this is done. And the ACM certificate, you can keep it, otherwise I'm going to deleting up the ACM certificate. C7C, this one I created. Tag, yeah, right. Delete. Cleared. And the Route 53, I'm going to cleaning up both. So in my case, I'm keeping up the Route 53. I'm doing the more projects, and that's why. In your case, if you don't like to keep out on the Route 53, just clean it up. And the secrets. So here, what will happen? I'm going to show a few things. Just go to this and delete secrets. And waiting period is 7. Delete schedule. So it's going to storing up in one of the hidden, like a recycle bin. So it's not going to showing up here. To show up, just click on this setting icon and show secret schedule for deletion. Click on the save, and you will see the secret is still available. You can also retrieve and restore it. So if you like to delete this one, means I have the command to delete. I will. Don't worry about it if you don't like to delete one. After 7 days is going to cleaning up. Yeah, it's cleaned. It takes few minutes. It's going to delete afterwards. This is done. This is okay. This is okay. And CodeBuild. Yeah, go to the CodeBuild, and in the build projects, delete the one by one actions. Delete. And the dast. Delete. Yeah, it's done. And move to the pipeline. Select the pipeline. Pipeline, delete pipeline, delete. Yeah, pipeline was cleared, and click on the settings here, and you will see the connections. We connected the GitHub, right? So you just delete these connections also. Yeah, we cleaned up, and where we have to go, we have to remove that. This is done. This is also secret is also done. So we have to go to the GitHub Repo actions and setting. In the left side, applications, configure. Nine three 8710, and click on uninstall. So it removes the access. Yeah, deleted. And this is done. Cleared. File system cleared. Repositories cleared. Task definition, namespace cluster cleared. So role is pending. You can keep it, otherwise you can also delete these roles also. And yeah, you can see the hidden secrets are removed by the command. And this is okay. And once cross check it where you left, otherwise going to building on every stage. It cost for you. And artifacts not up here, right? Clear. And VPC, finally we have to clean up our VPC. Before cleaning up, we have to delete the NAT gateway. Delete NAT gateway, delete. until status come to the deleted, then you can delete the VPC. And delete the VPC. Elastic IP, if it is present, yeah, see, one of the elastic IP is present. Release elastic IP. So that's why we have to cross examine always. It's not right. Now we cleaned up everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video. AWS DevSecOps Pipeline. If you like this video, like and subscribe the channel and share this video across your friend circle. And once again, thanks for watching the video. And one more, and the last, if you like to do the more projects, you can go with my website and arishanshetty.github.io in the left side projects. And here I done almost some projects. You can explore it later. Once again, thanks for watching the video. Happy learning.